stand tall.
As we speak, 1,000 music industry types are getting wasted in Manchester. It's the third ever in the city. Here's one of the organisers, Tony Wilson. Welcome to The Beat.
Hi Gary, it's a pleasure.
Now, I mean, for people who don't know anything about In the City at all, what's it all about?
It's a happening. Were you around in the 60s?
No, not really.
It's a happening.
In a pram.
It's a happening in a pram. It's a happening. It's kind of an event. It's meant to be a music industry convention. They have them in Cannes every year, and for the last 16 years they've had them in New York every year. But now we have one in England. But it's a bit more than that. There's there's edutainment during the day, sort of entertaining panels and seminars on what is a CD-ROM and should musicians get their masters back. All these kind of deep philosophical things. And then there's loads of bands in the evening. It's like an urban Glastonbury in the evening. I mean, we regard it as the last festival of the summer season because really, I mean, there's about 200 bands and sort of 50 dance labels and stuff. So there's the bands, and then in the early hours of the morning, the dance labels, it's a beauty competition as to who can have the most outrageous and wildest party of this year's In the City. I mean, Deconstruction won in year one, and everyone thought FFRR would beat Deconstruction in year two, but in fact, Arista Back to Basics had the wildest night. So there's a real competition. It got so bad this year that they were doing it on a Monday, Tuesday, and the Wednesday, but now all the main dance labels are doing it on the Monday, on the Tuesday rather. They're all going against each other. We can be wilder than you. The nicest thing about In the City was both year one and year two, towards the end of the 4 days, people said to me on several occasions, it's reminded me why I'm in this industry. You know, and if that's the one thing it does, because it's so much fun. This business is the funniest business in the world because it's where money and art meet in the middle. And when money and art meet right in the middle, it creates a very, very peculiar and bizarre industry.
Is it specifically, you know, music industry types getting wasted, or is it open to the general?
Yeah, no, it's specifically music industry types getting, not wasted, very wasted. There's certainly an absolute element of that. But what's nice for the people of Manchester and the Northwest and Greater Manchester is that the gigs are all open for them. In fact, this year, the Interactive City, the new technology exhibition that's there for the delegates inside the Holiday Inn, moves out to the Museum of Science and Industry in Manchester for the public the following weekend. So to a degree, it really does have a public interface. And I mean, all the new band gigs, 18 bands a night, 5 venues, plus other people putting them on, they're all free entrance. I mean, you just go along and just wander from place to place and see what I regard as the most remarkable collection of new unsigned bands. They really are. I've listened to the tape, 66 tracks on it, and most of them are fantastic. By helping us install this annual event in the British music industry, the focus never shifts from Manchester. Manchester has a place whatever happens. I mean, one of the arguments is Merseybeat happened. By 1967, you go to Liverpool, you wouldn't know anything ever happened. But Manchester has this now, particularly when we have absolutely no groups come out of Manchester. I mean, I've never heard of Oasis or Take That or Simply Red, have you? So, you know, when we have a quiet period like this in Manchester, it means that the music industry still has a focus.
Mark Hayward from Vinyl Experience is keeping us company into the wee small hours of the morning on The Beat tonight. A Rolling Stones t-shirt for the current tour, Mark. Tell us about this.
Yeah, this is some of the official merchandise that you can actually buy at the new Stones concert, and this was purchased by me at the Giants Stadium in New York. So, and they're playing better than ever.
Yeah.
And in a few years to come, yet again, this will be worth a lot more money than you can actually buy them for at the time.
Now, I love coming here and seeing some of your old Beatles stuff, and you've got a couple of real corkers here. Let's start with this. This is an original handbill, isn't it? Tell us about this one.
Yeah, that was a very early handbill. As you can see, the Beatles are the biggest Beat lineup ever, and that was 1963, that concert, Operation Big Beat, and it's supported by Rory Storm and the Hurricanes, which featured
El Preston
Ringo.
and the Tempest Tornadoes, Farron and the Flamingos. Was that sixpence to get in?
6 shillings, so what's that?
Oh, 6 shillings,
yeah,
right.
something like 10p.